What's up, guys? It's Jacob from SGN here to bring you some FUT20 news. And of course, yesterday, unfortunately, I wasn't able to record it yesterday, but yesterday they did announce some new features and some new things that are going to be coming to Ultimate Team in FIFA 20. And I'm not impressed, to be honest with you guys. I've seen a few videos, and I have already actually done a video in Italian about this very same topic. So I'm going to talk about the same exact stuff, only, of course, in English, and kind of giving you my thoughts on some of the stuff that they've announced, which, like I said, I'm not too impressed. This is just a general breakdown, so icons, ones to watch if you pre-order, season objectives, which is cool, showing off some new stuff, that's some new customization, which is pretty cool, FUT friendlies, which I don't care about, more ways to play, don't care about there. But let's go ahead and get into some details and kind of take a closer look, starting off with FUT friendlies. And I gotta say, like, people, including me, have been asking for a more casual way to play Ultimate Team over the past few years, and this is a relatively welcome addition. As you can see, of course, Jesse and Marcus are having the time of their lives over there on the couch, just chilling, playing FIFA, which is something that most people don't actually enjoy nowadays. But all right, I understand the lie, and they are good friends, so they might actually be enjoying themselves. They're rich as shit too, so it makes sense for them to be happier than most people will be playing FIFA because they don't really give a shit. You know, they're just having fun. They're making millions, doing what they love, and hats off for them for that. But most people aren't going to be having that reaction to playing FIFA. Just to give you my honest opinion. Anyway, so basically what this is for is to give you a more relaxing and casual way to play FIFA Ultimate Team when you don't want to play more competitive modes. And essentially what they did is they added house rules to Ultimate Team, which I never personally liked. I'm not a fan of, survival mode or no rules or that bullshit. And they added a few new ones, which is Mystery Ball, which I think is going to be very, very controversial because essentially every time there's a stoppage in play, Mystery Ball is going to, give the attacking side boost their passing, shooting, dribbling, speed, or all attributes, giving them an unpredictability to the match. Now, here's the thing. One might think, and he might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that he'd probably be correct to think this, that if they're able to do this in friendly mode, can they not do this in all modes? Now, take that into consideration, right? How many times have you dominated somebody, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you find yourself in the situation where you just can't do shit. You find yourself in a situation where you are severely outmatched, you're getting destroyed, and you just seemingly can't do anything. How many times has that happened to you in FIFA over the past few years? Okay, I'm pretty sure we're pretty much all on the once every 2 or 3 games, at least, number. That's more or less the number right there. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. This leads me to believe that they've been able to do this for a long time, and this is just going to make things even more controversial and add a bit more, I guess you could kind of say, like, this is going to add a bit more, skepticism among the player base. So, not a smart move there by EA, in my opinion. King of the Hill looks like absolute garbage, where instead of playing actual football, you're going to sit in a square and just try to hold possession there for as long as possible, which is just stupid as shit. This is interesting, sort of, where basically in FUT friendlies, you have max chemistry no matter what players you put together. So if you want to have Vinicius alongside Sancho, alongside Van Dijk, then you have full chemistry no matter what. So if you want to have, let's say, a defensive lineup of Van Dijk, Sergio Ramos, Alexandro, and fullback on the right, maybe, I don't know, let's just say Kyle Walker, just have some mix of stuff. You can have all those guys, there's going to be full chemistry no matter what, which is a welcome addition because if you are playing a casual mode, you just want to have all the best players you have in your club, mix them together, and just have some fun. That's the way you should do, and that's fine. But they should have added this a long time ago, so not too big a deal. And this is another thing that's not interesting to me in the least bit, which is swaps. So essentially, in FUT, in this friendly mode, 3 players are randomly swapped from your team with the opposition, which means you could gain your opponent's best player, but you could also lose yours, which I think is just stupid. That doesn't interest me. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are interested in that, but it just doesn't really mean anything to me. And this kind of just shows that you can play on your couch with 4 players plus opponents, or you can play online against other people in the community, or you can play with your friends online. So they do give you some options to play against some varying people, and that's fine. But like I said, this isn't really a mode that's going to particularly interest me in the least bit. When it comes to tracking your stats, this is cool. This is very, very cool because it tells you how many goals you scored against a specific player. It tells you how many goals you score from short range, long range, free kicks, penalties, your shot conversion stats, based on what minutes you score in. I'm surprised this isn't a lot higher because generally you score a lot more goals in the 45th minute or the 90th minute. So that's a bold-faced lie. It tells you some of your personal stats, like your fastest goal and your most goals and stuff like that. So that is interesting, but I hope to see this kind of come to full Ultimate Team. So this would be really cool to see if you could have it for FUT Champions or Division Rivals, so you have a better idea of how you play, and you can kind of see statistically on paper what you do and how you play. So I think that would be a very good addition to Ultimate Team, and I don't really think they're going to be doing that. I think it might be a little bit too complicated for them and a little bit too ambitious. Moving on to season objectives, which is definitely the thing that I'm interested in the most. Of course, they're redefining the way you get prizes and the way you gain experience, which of course they're announcing here. Essentially, the way this is going to work is that there are a bunch of seasons, much like Fortnite or much like Paladins or other games that have adopted this system. Even I think Gears of War and stuff like that are going to have it soon. So this is a good system to have because of course people have been asking for it for a long time. And of course they give you an example of how to get ones to watch Jovic, which I'm assuming his overall of 80 isn't going to be the actual rating in the game because that's way too low for a guy who did what he did last season that just went to Real Madrid for that amount of money. So I don't think it's going to be a realistic rating. I think this is probably just like his rating from last year, more or less, just a little bit updated with the Real Madrid logo and stuff like that. So I don't think this is going to be his actual rating, but if it is, then that's a shame. But regardless, how do you unlock Jovic? Well, of course, there's these five things, but of course there's a lot more because you can see the tab goes lower, so you can scroll down. So for daily objectives, number 1, or I guess daily objectives is a different thing, but for one to watch Jovic, you get score for Serbia, so presumably you score as a Serbian player. Goodbye Bundesliga, presumably you score with a player from the Bundesliga. If it takes finesse, score with a finesse shot. Winning in Rivals, you have to win a game for in Division Rivals, and probably Welcome to Madrid is basically like score a goal with a Real Madrid player or score a goal with Jovic himself. That could be it. I don't know exactly what that's going to mean, but regardless, as you do these objectives and as you move forward, you do unlock new stuff. This right here, milestone objectives, is what I'm by far most excited about for FIFA 20, at least for Ultimate Team. Now, of course, we've been asking for milestones for a very, very long time. For example, scoring 100 goals, and they have a bunch of different categories for scoring 100 goals, including finesse shots, headers, volleys, and chip shots. That's great. That's all fine and dandy, but what really, really, really worries me is that look at the prize for scoring 400 goals in insane ways as well, because 100 volleys is pretty difficult. 100 chip shots is even harder. So imagine doing all that and you get a fucking ball. Imagine doing all that shit and you get a fucking ball. That doesn't even look good. It doesn't even look good. It looks like a ball you get in pass when you get a player. So I mean, unimpressed by the reward, but I'm hoping that's just kind of like a placeholder reward. Nothing serious, and that's not really what you're actually going to get for doing this, which would be just a huge shame. Moving forward, of course, sorry, this is just the pre-order, so nobody really cares about that. I already pre-ordered the game like a dumbass because instead of paying $100 for it, I paid $80 for the Ultimate Edition because, of course, EA Access discount plus buying the game through FIFA 19. Anyway, more ways to play. Squad management, and this does look good because, of course, this gives you a new system for handling all the stuff about your club, so it makes it easier and more fluid and more intuitive to just kind of do all the things you might want to do with a player, including my personal favorite addition, the player instructions now every time you go and you push like X on a player, presumably. So it gives you all the options without having to go through a bunch of menus, and it makes things a lot faster and a lot easier, especially when you're in the weekend league and you don't have that much time and you want to do as much as possible as soon as possible. This is easily, in my opinion, the biggest disappointment of this entire announcement, which is a mode for every playstyle. And what do they show? Squad battles, division rivals, and FUT champions, which is pretty much what we've come accustomed to and not really appreciated over the past few games. And division rivals, of course, just from last season. But realistically, like, division rivals is only good if you're trying to practice and get better for FUT champions. But if you want to just enjoy yourself, division rivals is the wrong way to do it because it's not enjoyable. All you encounter is people that are trying to play the exact same way as in FUT champions, which is just try to get as much points as possible without actually enjoying themselves using interesting teams. Like, what happened to FUT tournaments and what happened to improved drafts, because the draft as it is right now is just garbage. So what happened to making things fresh and making things more fun and entertaining? Unfortunately, there's just no improvement there, and there's really nothing special here to look at, and it is a shame. And of course, emphasizing once again on squad battles, which is a very, very boring mode in my opinion, just nothing fun about it. And it's a shame. They talk about this whole ultimate connection to football with Champions League, where you get special boosted in-game stats reflecting how the players play in real life, which is just normal. And of course, they talk about the companion app, and I've seen a lot of people be like, dude, fuck, dude. They now in the companion app you can actually redeem your weekly rewards, but I've been doing that since like FIFA 18, so unimpressed there. I don't know what they're bragging about there. And then moving on to the final thing, which is icons, and this is definitely something that you have to give credit where credit is due to EA Sports. They continue to add on a ton of icons. I think there were already like 75 icons more or less, and they've added another like what was it, 15 here, so they're up to about 90, and it's a huge list of icons. Like for them to add Zidane, to add Pirlo, to add Drogba, to add Ian Wright, to add Koeman, to add Carlos Alberto, to an already insane, just look at this, insane amount of, what is there, more? Okay, this is just the huge, yeah, that's the, if you want to download the picture. But regardless, you see this immense list of icons, and to have even more added, especially fan favorites like Pirlo and Zidane, it's just great to see. So, I mean, hats off to EA Sports for definitely putting in the money to have all the rights to all these huge players and make this game even more fun when it comes to the collection point of view. But at the end of the day, man, like the biggest thing is if the gameplay for this game is not big time improved over FIFA 19, then this game is going to be a huge failure because that's just the way it is. Like you have to enjoy the gameplay more than anything else. You have to enjoy the gameplay more than anything else. You can't just be focusing 100% on the menus and stuff like that. That's just not what you play games for. You play games for fun, and you want to have fun playing the actual games, not just chilling in the menu. So I am impressed with certain aspects like the icons, like the new objectives, in particular the milestones, but I'm not going to be particularly impressed with squad battles. I'm not going to be impressed by division rivals. I'm not going to be impressed by FUT champions, and I'm most certainly not going to be impressed with the game itself until I actually get my hands on and see that the gameplay has improved. Until then, I'm going to be very skeptic. I'm just not going to really buy the hype. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.